Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. My name is Hameed and I'm with my good friend Rocky. Just so you guys know, there's a reason why we're meeting on Zoom. I'm based in San Francisco, well, in the Bay Area, California. I'm about 20 minutes outside of San Francisco. Rocky's based in Phuket, Thailand. Lucky you, man. This is our first show together on our channels, and we want to talk about a lot of different things, mainly about entrepreneurship, business. It's a grind. It's not easy. And we want to talk about the things that we've all gone through and how we overcome these obstacles and bottlenecks on this journey towards creating the lifestyle we want to create for ourselves and whatever lifestyle that is. But, we're going to talk about a lot of different topics today. And I want to introduce again my good friend, Rocky, who is based in Thailand. And Rocky, what's going on, man? How's everything?
Hey man, how are you? Good.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. Still the same life in Thailand.
Yeah. How's the weather like out there? What's it,
Well,
90
I mean,
degrees?
when we hear about San Francisco and stuff, it's like, oh, San Francisco, investors, startup, big companies, and stuff like that. So definitely, it's an exciting city to be in too, huh? For connections, for building
Yeah, I
something.
mean, yeah, no, it's a great area to be in the Bay Area, especially since we're right by Silicon Valley. I mean, the biggest companies in the world are here in the Bay Area, the Facebooks, Googles, Uber, the Oracle, the headquarters of the largest technology companies in the world are right here in our backyard. So it's great. Um, but it's not as glamorous as people think it is. I mean, it is a boring goddamn area. It's cold sometimes, most majority of the year. There's not much of a nightlife here,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not, these are not easy circles to crack. People think that they could just come here and socialize and get into these elite circles is not as easy as you think it is. So, but if you do, and if you're able to engage with the right people in this area, it could take you pretty far. That's for sure. So it's definitely a great place to network. A lot of meetups. I'm in the crypto space part-time because I have other projects that we're actually engaged, me and you together, that we're working on. But especially in the crypto space, man, out here, it's a great place to network, especially on the technology side. So yeah, it's exciting in that sense. But honestly, it's a boring place, man. To be, I'd rather actually we're coming out to Phuket in a week, so I'd rather be in your area. But why don't we do this, man? Because I know some of the audience is not very familiar with us, at least this audience. Why don't we first give an introduction on our backgrounds, people can get to know us a little bit, and also how me and you met and how we became friends. So tell us about your journey, about how you got started in the world of business. Where did you start? Why did you want to become an entrepreneur? What inspired you to go down this path?
Yeah, I'm going to answer this question, and then I will introduce you actually in Moroccan.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, from my followers in this. So, well, I mean, it's just simple. I mean, I guess like everyone who was tired from working to 9 to 5 I'm always looking for freedom. I wanted to travel to discover the world, and the only way I would not say I hated my job, but I just couldn't see myself working in an office 9 to 5, waking up in the morning, going
Yeah.
to taking the underground. And at that time, I was in London, so just started. I mean, I switched the job, and just 1 week after I started the job, I said, "This is not." It was quite a good startup. It was like a booking site for restaurants in the
Yeah.
UK. It was acquired actually by Open Table, which is a big company in the
Oh,
United.
really? Okay. Nice.
So it was a good environment to work on. It's just that wasn't me. So I just started after 1 week. I got the job. I already told my wife I can't stay here. So I just
The
started looking on online. So just easy how to make money online. And that's it. And
Mhm.
I came out on some YouTube channels. I followed the steps, created my first website. And then the same guy where I learned from, Dale, I learned from him like through the challenge. Then he
Yeah.
promoted Clay Smith on on the app business,
Right.
1 year after.
Yeah.
So I discovered the Trey Smith product, what he has to offer, subscribe to his list and stuff. So first
What
time
year
it
was
was,
this?
I think 2011, 2012.
Right. Okay.
What first time it was the software system, and then it moved to the app system.
Right.
So I bought the app system, and then since then I started making apps. Oh, in the meantime, actually, yeah. So the apps, and I was making an app magazine. So it was a magazine,
Got
an
it.
app, a digital nomad travel magazine. I was producing content, getting a writer and stuff like that. But it wasn't as profitable as the app, like games and utility apps.
Yeah.
And this is how I started. Then I met a guy, who's a guy called Gabriel Machuret. He's quite famous in terms
Okay.
of SEO at that time and internet marketing. And we worked together a lot on apps. We produced a huge amount of apps in a short amount of time. And this is how it took off. So I was able to make money and live the life that I wanted, I would say, at that time.
Yeah. Good. So
Yeah.
how'd you end up in Thailand? How'd you go from like UK? So you were in the app business while you were in the UK, or?
No, actually, no. Well, so I was able to, so I worked for that company for 1 year, right?
Yeah.
And then I moved on that time, like a few years ago, I came here one time on holiday. So I said, this place is amazing. I need to live here. So that's
Yeah.
it. As soon as I replaced my salary, I came.
Oh,
I packed
nice.
everything and I came. Yeah, I came with my wife and we rented the place. We started living here. And I was able to have replace my salary, and then from the app business and stuff, my income increased. My income increased, so I could stay more. I would say,
That's great.
build my life here. That's
That's
it. So it's
awesome.
been now 5 years. Yeah, I guess the life of an entrepreneur is going up and down, depending on the.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now, now, obviously I know, what you're doing, but maybe the audience would like to know, are you still in the app business, or what are you doing nowadays?
The app business, not really. I have my own portfolio of apps that still bring an amount of money. It's not a huge amount, but definitely it's a significant amount. I would say it's less than 5 figures. But I'm not doing anything, and it's been growing for now years.
Well, bro, you live
So
in Thailand, so
I would say
that's
I
no
was
problem.
complaining.
Well, you live in Thailand, so that's great. You know what I mean? I'm sure your cost of living's like
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good. Yeah. See, I live in the
And
Bay
then,
Area. Cost of living's a joke out here. So that's great. Man. Good
and
stuff.
that's it, to be honest. In the meantime, when I was what switched, so I was in Thailand and I met a Moroccan guy. It's come up. This Moroccan guy, Simo, is a good friend of mine now. He's the biggest internet marketing influencer in Morocco, where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah.
So he invited me to speak to events in Egypt, Morocco, about the app business. And then through him, I met a lot of new friends and connection. Also, my business partner now is that I met through him. And this is where, I would say, opportunities open up. I have more experience to do business in the app business. I did some GVs, I built some apps with some partners.
Yeah.
And I also did some other businesses like online internet websites, or now I'm focused more on e-commerce
Gotcha.
in our area, like Arabic speaker area, which is Morocco and some countries in the Middle East and also Europe as well.
Nice. Very cool. Sounds like a lot of fun. And it sounds great that you can make this money and live in Thailand. Because I remember the first time I went, actually that's when we met in person. And I was like, man, I wouldn't mind living out here. It's so nice and it's hot. My joints feel good and I loved it. It was great. So very cool, man.
Let me introduce you actually to my good friends and the people from Morocco who's watching you.
Go for it.
I'm going to introduce you in Moroccan.
Go for it. Just give me the cue on when to start.
Well, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, I can do it in it. I'll do it in Moroccan, and I will just tell you what I did, what I told them in
Yeah.
uh, والسلام عليكم الدراري. المهم هذا حميد حماد. اول مره سمعت في حميد كان في واحد الويبينار ديال تري سميث ايام اللي كان ديال لي زاب، وكان توري الموديل اللي كان تيدير. كان عنده سوفتوير بروجيكت زد وبروجيكت ماي هام، وكان كيورينا الموديل اللي كان كيتباع. ومن تما عرفتو، بقينا مكونيكتين حتى مره في تايلاند. ومن بعد وراني فسد لي بزاف على الكريبتو، وراني بروجي ديال الكريبتو، انفستيت معاه في الكريبتو وصافي. دابا خدامين اونصومبل، كنهضروا ديما، كنبارطاجيو لي زانفورماسيون. واليوم قاعدين نجي نهضروا على بزاف الحاجات، زعما شنو هو السيتواسيون ديال الاب بيزنس دابا، شنو هما لي زوبورتونيتي اللي كاينين اونلاين. اوكي هادشي اللي كاين. نقلب على الانجلي. اوكي let's switch now.
Okay. I think you gave a little quick bio on me. I take it.
I just said that the first time I heard about you, it was on a Tracemate webinar where they were showing you games and the model you were doing.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was like in early 2012, I think, right?
Yeah, 2012, 13, and yeah, at first time I heard your names. Oh, this guy might be Arab, so I'm not the only one actually. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And, that's it. Actually, we got connected via Facebook, and one time you just show up in Thailand.
Yeah. I remember.
In Thailand, this meet, and that's it. This is how we met.
Yeah, no, I remember. I thought you were in Europe for some reason, even though we didn't meet in person. Yeah. You seem very well known in the app community. So yeah, same as you, man. I mean, I knew about the app business since the damn iPhone was, launched the app store, right? And I remember, when I came across Trey Smith's information in 2011, and got all the systems that you got or software that he was offering. And yeah, we did very well in the app business, man. It was a great time. Made good money. It was like, everyone wants residual income. Like we were living it, like literally take a month or two off, go travel, and the money was just growing. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, I'm about to get really lazy. So it was, I mean, don't get me wrong. We worked hard. It wasn't handed to us or anything like that. But yeah, it was a great business. And of course, we engaged because we were in the same communities, Trey's community and also Carter Thomas's as well on Facebook with Blue Cloud Solutions. So we always heard each other's names, and I don't think we really engaged. And then one day I took a trip out to Thailand with my ex-wife at the time. So I remember you had messaged me on Facebook, "Hey man, I'm in Phuket." I was like, "Oh wow, okay, cool. Let's meet up. I can have a friend out here." You know what I mean? So yeah, and we met up. We hit it off right away.
Definitely.
We had a great time.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then you came back again, and when you came back, remember when you came back and we went to that crypto event with the
That's when I was heavily into I was in the crypto market when I first met you, but that was when I was really I still am heavily in the market. I'm not going to not be heavily into the market. But yeah, we met John McAfee at the blockchain event, and it was a great time, man. I mean, you took care of me that week. You showed me around the island, and then we hung out with Yusuf and the rest of your friends from Morocco. And we hung out at that big mansion, and then I got super sick, and that was hell the last 2-3 days. So, and then I met Charles in Bangkok, and I could barely survive that night. So, but anyhow, yeah, no, it was a great time, and we connected really well. And I think that's where we should talk about is it's not about the app business, but it's about these snapshots in time where people are, not everyone, but the ones who are able to identify these trends before they really take off can take advantage of these trends. But it can also be a booby trap. And what I mean by that is like, yeah, the app business was great, but some of us thought, I was guilty. I thought, man, this is going to last a while. And it didn't, and then you come to realize like, hey, there's still a great opportunities in the app business. Don't get me wrong. There's still a great opportunity, but in terms of the amount of capital it took, which was next to nothing at the time, that cycle of opportunity only lasts like 3 to 5 years. And I think the reason why they last such a short period in time is because the channels begin to mature. And what I mean by that, in this case, the iOS App Store began to figure out how let's get real here. We were gaming the system, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We were gaming the system, and we were making great money, not having to spend money on ads. We just knew how to rank our apps. And
yes, for sure. At that time, I mean, yes, like you said, I mean, I can completely agree with you on that time. And, I mean, what I regret is, I mean, maybe the experience or something. It's just I feel that it wasn't. I mean, we couldn't take it to the next step, I would say. And I mean, maybe the money just blind us, so we just making money that we didn't get.
Yeah. It was okay. So with these type of businesses, there's like a 3 to 5 year cycle. The problem is that we're tied to these channels. So in our business, for example, the app business, I obviously I know you've done way better than me, especially the past several years. But in my case, and I think this is something the audience can learn from, because I take it a lot of our audience is probably based in the Middle East, and some here in America. And the one thing I would tell people is like, you know, when you get into these businesses where there's an opportunity, where there's Amazon FBA or the app business, you know, the app store, in terms of making money without having to spend much capital, those days are gone in the iOS app space. But there will be other opportunities where there will be a snapshot in time where you could take advantage and create momentum for your business. But you have to realize that if your business is tied solely to these channels, such as Amazon or the iOS App Store, and you're solely relying on these channels to bring in traffic, sales, revenue, etc., they only have a 3 to 5 year cycle, where eventually that flow of traffic and revenue is going to dry up, because these companies are getting smarter. They're understanding that us small entrepreneurs are gaming the system, for lack of better words. And they're going to adjust their algorithm. And as they adjust their algorithms, their discovery algorithm, that is to have your product, services, apps be discovered, as they adjust the algorithm, that is going to disrupt your discovery. And as it disrupts your discovery, you're going to watch your numbers shrink, your revenue shrink, and your bottom line, which is your profit, the income you take home, is going to shrink. So the idea here is you have to be able to capture your audience and take them off of the channel. And that's the thing. I can't speak for you, but I speak for myself. That's the thing I failed at. I should have built a goddamn email list, and I didn't. And we were getting
exactly what I'm saying. I mean, we didn't build a list, we didn't build an audience at that time. So this is what I mean, I would suggest everyone is just to focus on building an audience, building a list, even from apps or any channel, because this is, and this is what the big company now, even if you see big publishers now, the game publishers, they have huge followers, huge list, huge audience. They can any game will take off straight away. I mean, every time they publish, it's number one. Well, I guess, this is a kind of mistake that we learn from, and this is where, I mean, when you progress, you focus on this now. I mean, now I'm focusing on, as soon as I start selling something online, just about building this list or building the audience. This is most important than actually making the first sell.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would say, like in Morocco, I talked about this. Remember, they call it. I mean, imagine that in Morocco they call reskinning at that time. That we know who were reskinners, right? We're changing, taking the code and changing the design and stuff.
Yeah.
But in Morocco, the reskinning has such a bad name now. For example, Morocco reskinning means spamming. When you reskin, it means you spam.
Sure. Yeah.
And I spoke with a lot of people there, and they tell me, "Hey man, we got our Google developer account shut down. Okay, so what did you do? You just nothing. You just rip off a game, so they download the APK, change just like an icon and stuff, and upload it. They said, well, I mean, it's normal that your account shut down. Like they couldn't understand it. They couldn't understand. I mean, imagine that is everyone is like Wild Wild West, let's make money and stuff. And, but they took it to another level. I mean, we were like, what I would say white hat. I mean, we were doing like taking the code, changing design, changing everything. Even sometimes everything.
Oh, I would change the code. Like I would have my developer change it because I know everyone's right. I'd try to make the game more engaging or whatever. If it was a utility app, I try to add like 3-4 extra features because I wanted to differentiate my app and at the same time add some goddamn value to the customer. You know what I mean? So, but no, go ahead. You were saying, but what I'm curious, what do these guys do?
Yeah, exactly what I meant. I mean, this is what we were doing at that time. But I mean, I spoke with other guys doing this when they said risking it. They were just ripping off other games and changing the icons, screenshots, and uploading it.
Jesus, these guys they're straight pirates. Yeah.
So now, I mean, yeah. No, this is
I think so. Here's the thing, right? Like, we're all guilty of this, man. We all do this at some point, and we did it. You know, and there's nothing wrong to a certain degree because you got to go through your learning curve in life. But the fundamental to any business as an entrepreneur is a lot of us when we get in, we're all talking about the money, but we tend to forget about who are we serving. And at the end of the day, it's like you have to build value and you have to provide value to this world. That's how you make money. If you don't contribute value, then yeah, you can do these black hat businesses and make good money and hack the system. But if you're not providing real value, that opportunity is going to dry up really fast. And technology, these platforms, these companies are just maturing and things are moving even faster. So even with the app space, we had a 3 to 5 year window to capitalize, even though in my opinion, maybe we added some value for someone had a chance to escape from their world by playing this slots game or whatever for 2 minutes out of the day and having a good time. We gave them 2 minutes of value, right? It's not much, but things are moving faster. And what I mean by that is these opportunities are not even lasting 3-5 years. So at the end of the day, what I would urge everyone is like, if you're going to get into business, if you're going to build, whether you're an online entrepreneur, whether you're building a brick and mortar business, whatever it is, yes, you got to build an email list, but how you do that is providing value. And don't think about the money up front. Think about how can you give and how can you contribute? What's a problem in the marketplace that you can identify and you can solve better than anyone else as to the best of your ability, and try to provide as much value as possible. If you're an engineer, try to engineer a product or something that solves a problem. If you're somebody who just loves to get in front of the camera, look, here's what God honest truth. Me and Rocky don't like to get in front of the camera. I have a YouTube channel for the crypto space called Crypto Cowboys. Half the time I cringe to get in front of the camera. It's just not my thing, right? But we know that, hey, we have no choice. So we're not engineers. We are content producers, and we know where the world is today. We have to get in front of camera and provide you guys content, provide you guys value in some way. And how we're doing that is we're just sharing our experiences, not just how we met, but how we made money and the mistakes we made, and how you can vicariously learn through us. So you can minimize. I mean, you're going to make mistakes. You need to make mistakes. You need to fail forward, but you want to, minimize that as much as possible and position yourself for success, or give yourself a high probability of success as much as possible by learning from others, learning from their mistakes and their journey so you don't make the same mistakes. So the biggest thing I'd give anyone, the biggest advice I'd give anyone is just like solve a problem in the marketplace. Focus on providing value first, and then focus on how you can capture the audience's attention by providing value. Maybe start an Instagram channel where you just focus on providing content to that specific niche that you're targeting, that you want to solve the problem in. A YouTube channel, whatever it is, just get yourself out there. If you're not an engineer where you can build and engineer a product, if you're not a coder where you can develop some type of software, some SaaS program that you can charge customers monthly that provides a service that solves a problem in the marketplace, then maybe you provide content. Whatever it is, you got to find out what your strength is, and you got to find out where there's a problem in the marketplace, identify the problem, and find a solution to that problem, and provide that solution in any way possible. What are your thoughts on that? What would you say to like someone today who's a aspiring entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what age you are. You could be 45 and this is your first rodeo at starting a business. You could be fresh out of high school. It doesn't matter. Your age is irrelevant. It's really, it really comes down to, you know, is this your desire? Is this the path you want to take? So let me ask you this, Rocky, based on your experience, you've been in this entrepreneur game for many years now. What advice would you give somebody who's an aspiring entrepreneur who wants to start a business and, you know, build something and make good money and create the lifestyle they want and live in Phuket, Thailand and make good money and live on the beach? What would you say to an aspiring entrepreneur?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, have a clear goal. I mean, what's your goal? What's the end goal? Okay, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want to make money? What's your end goal? You want to travel the world? Why you want to build a bigger, like a billion-dollar company? You want to just stay in your, I mean, in your city and have a nice car, have money to show off, whatever. And just find an end goal. And yeah, like you said, I mean, I can't disagree with you. You resume everything. Find a problem, and offer the solution, and also focus on building an audience and building a list. This is the mistake that I did. I didn't build an audience. I didn't build a list in all the businesses that I did. Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of regret it, but I'm working on it now. And yeah, even in my other e-commerce business and stuff, we're focusing more on building the list, building a back end instead of just selling a front end and then forgetting about the client. And also, the most important thing is, I mean, a lot of guys are also, I know they work on drop shippers, or they're doing e-commerce and selling gadgets from China.
Right.
I mean, they don't care about the product. But at the end of the day, imagine if your product is good, you won't have this problem. And all the big companies, they started with the base. The base is a product, your solution. What's your offer? You have a great offer. You have a great offer, a great product, a great solution. I mean, you won't need all this marketing trick, all this, marketing tricks to sell or to build your list or your audience. I mean, at the end of the day, just build something. I mean, don't sell shit. You see?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I did it, and I learned from my mistakes. So this is the
When you say don't sell shit, like don't sell low quality products, that's what we equate to shit.
Don't sell low quality. Yeah, exactly. Don't sell low quality products. If you are sure that the quality is not good, then you would have a lot of problem with the buyers. Don't sell it. Don't sell it. Like, if you want to build something, I mean, at the end, there we'll see. I mean, now you see all this drop shipping. I mean, my YouTube channel, my Facebook's all full of drop shippers. My friends most of them are doing drop shipping now. And
how are they doing with drop shipping? What are they drop shipping? Just products from AliExpress, China?
Some are doing AliExpress. Some are having their own not warehouse, but working with suppliers and stocking and then send it from China. Some guys are doing drop shipping. Actually, they're selling on eBay, and drop shipping is from Amazon, from the US.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they're buying stuff on eBay. They send it from Amazon.
So it's just an arbitrage deal. That's all they're doing.
Exactly.
Got it.
Arbitrage. So yeah, I mean, a lot of guys are successful. I cannot deny that with drop shipping. But again,
and there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. Like if there's a loophole there, take it. You know, just realize that may not last another 5 years. I think that's what we're getting at here. It's like there's opportunity, take it, but that arbitrage opportunity, it's not going to be there that long. And if you think that's going to be the long-term answer to what your bottom line is and where you want to get to, you may be in for a rude awakening, because there's a lot of systematic risk to your business if all your business is based on is an arbitrage model.
Especially they're focusing only on one sales channel, which is Facebook. Imagine the business to rely only on Facebook. You shut your Facebook account got shut down for whatever reason, you don't have a business. So we can't call this a business. I mean, and this is, I spoke with my business partner as well. And I said, look, I prefer to do nothing than doing this. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I have like uh, the financial to do this, to taking it slow, thinking, building something. But I do understand on one side, the guys, especially from a country, a third world country like Morocco, I mean, they're making money. They will say, okay, look, you started like us. You made money. Now you're taking your time. You're building your like a brand
Yeah.
or whatever, a big company. So let us at least make money, bring the capital, and then we'll move on. But the problem is they never move on. They will look for the next trick. They will maybe in 5 years, no, it's going to be drop shipping or whatever. It's going to be another thing. But it's always in the same mindset, just making money, flipping money, really. Not building any asset, not building any company, not building anything.
Yeah, man. To me, that's just like the harder path. I think it's better. I mean, it's not, I think I know. And I think we can all agree that, listen, man, you want to take the path of least resistance, build something of value, build a brand, and a brand should be based on value. And like I said, I sound like a beating a dead horse here or a soundtrack on repeat, but you have to identify a problem in the marketplace and you have to find a way to solve that problem. So let me ask you this. I know we're using like very vague concepts, like identify a problem, solve a problem, right?
Yeah.
But also it depends on where are the eyeballs, right? So because you have to capture people's attention, but how do you do that? You position yourself, where are the eyeballs? Where are people looking? So let me ask you this: what are some trends, or what are some market trends you're seeing, or you're possibly identifying, that, or in terms of identifying opportunity trends that you may see coming into fruition in the next several years, or maybe in the next like 6 months, where there's an opportunity to not just capitalize, but to build a valuable brand that solves a problem, where that audience's attention may be. I don't know if I packed that question for you, but if you understand the question, what do you think?
I'm thinking, I mean, let's say the trend now, let's say what I see is all the drop shipping and stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if with drop shipping, you have the fulfillment, the traffic and stuff. So, but a lot of guys, what's their work is just really sending traffic to an offer. They're kind of an affiliate.
Yeah.
They send traffic to an offer. Obviously, the offer is on AliExpress, so they have to fulfill the order. They have to find partners. But imagine if you are the offer, you own the offer. So you own the offer, you own the product, you own the fulfillment and stuff. And
Sure.
you build a website where, like, we have everything, right? Not kind of, I'm not saying a fulfillment company, but like an ad network, really, or affiliate network, where the guys don't need to focus on dealing with customer service, fulfillment orders, follow up with suppliers, sourcing the thing, all this stuff. They just want to send what they want. Is just what they do, really, just sending traffic. So why don't they focus only on sending traffic, which they are good at? Most of the drop shippers, they forget, and send the traffic to our company, to the guy who owns the offer. So the opportunity is like owning the offer, which is I can come in place, or whatever the person can come in place and offer the service to the guys, the drop shippers, really. This is how I see it in terms of drop shipping, the trend that I see, and this is the way how I'm working on, I would say, or the idea that's come out. To come in and brainstorm by myself, I would say. Another thing is new markets. New markets. Imagine doing this in countries like in Africa. Depending on what you're looking for. If you want to build something big, just like I know a lot of Moroccans who go to Africa and set up everything from scratch, and they are very successful. So this is how I see. Maybe new market, just bring the idea, the offer that it's successful in X country, and bring it to another country, scale to another country, and then open it to another country. That's it. Because there's not only U.S. markets. I have my friends that are very successful here in Thailand. as their owners. They build the same kind of business. They're buying stuff from China, their own brand, building it, or
They're
they
selling
source
it in Thailand?
in Thailand. Yes,
Interesting.
cosmetic products.
Like brick and mortar or online?
No, no, online. The private label cosmetic products, start selling it online. They're very, so they're taking just the same principle uh, from the Western market and they apply it to a different market.
So what you're saying is like, if you're like in the physical product space where you want to sell goods online, you, instead of looking at first world countries like the US or UK, you know, where it's very uber competitive, maybe start looking at other markets where there is a demand for products. Eyeballs are, you know, obviously we know everyone's on their mobile phone, right? Most traffic is coming to the mobile phone these days as opposed to desktop, right? People are
Because
buying.
at that time there wasn't one internet the penetration, like mobile penetration wasn't the same. So now everyone, I mean, they never had internet like a Wi-Fi connection, but they have a 3G or 4G connection. Okay,
Yeah.
so they can connect to Facebook now. They can Instagram. Then you can advertise them.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's huge. I mean, I did some business in new markets, and it's very exciting to know that you are the first with the first one.
Yeah.
That feeling of okay, I might into something here. I might build in something here. You know, it can be e-commerce or an app for the specific market. But yeah, you finally feel that wow, I'm an entrepreneur maybe. I'm
Sure.
moving on, I'm building something. You know. Yeah, this is to be honest, that's the only thing that I'm thinking of now in terms of business and trend that I see. But again, I'm not saying that I'm great at identifying trends. You know,
I got you.
I like. Don't forget, I mean, I learned from tracing it, and it's emulate. I mean, reverse engineering, emulate. This is the base that I learned. I learned is don't innovate, emulate.
Yeah.
Okay. So he always saying reverse engineer companies, products, and stuff, and emulate them, build something better.
Yeah,
Better.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, if you want to invent something from scratch, it's so tough, right? So why not just find, you know, who's successful in whichever space, like in our space, the app space, that is, we would usually find games that did really well, that have already have a proof of concept being that this game is making money, it's doing well, and customers love it. Users love it. There's engagement. So why don't we take some of the game mechanics from that game and create a different theme that targets maybe a different niche, but we know the game mechanics work. Let's emulate that game. Right. So yeah, no, I'm with you, man. You know, for me, like if you were asking me like what trends, I think, so here's what I would tell people to look out for. I think there's going to be a big trend in voice. And I think like here in America, a lot of people own Alexa. And Alexa is, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically this little unit you put in your house, and it's like your assistant. You just speak to it. It's like talking to Siri on your iPhone. Siri, I think Apple's really dropping the ball with Siri. Like their AI with Siri is just crap. I rarely use Siri. I haven't bought Alexa, but I'm hearing more and more people are buying Alexa, putting it in their home, and speaking to Alexa. So that you, instead of like going on your phone or laptop to want to search something, Alexa, can you Google where I can buy paper plates? And Alexa will get you the results. So I think, you know, we were talking about the App Store. I think the next App Store will be building apps for Alexa. So I think the future is going to be AI. It's going to be artificial intelligence via Alexa, for example, right? And other companies have their own voice. So that's Amazon no, Amazon's Alexa. Sorry, Google has their own assistant. Google's assistant, I don't know what they call it, but their AI assistant is really cool. Like they did a demo. The CEO of Google did a demo, I think 6 months ago, with the Google Assistant, where you can tell the Google Assistant to book me an appointment at a salon, and it'll literally call that salon and have a conversation with the person at the salon and book the appointment for you. So I think that's where the future is headed. I think so. For anyone who's interested in apps and software, I think that's something to look at is voice. Also, augmented reality, virtual reality. I think the future is headed towards augmented reality. You're seeing. Let me look at Snapchat. That's augmented reality. All the filters. That's AR. I think that's just the beginning. I think that's just a preview of what is to come in the future in the next 3 to 5 years. So if I was someone right now who's an entrepreneur, who wants to be an entrepreneur, trends that I would identify are like voice, the voice app store, AR and VR, more so AR than anything. So those are trends that I think are coming. I think automation is coming soon. And I think there's going to be these type of quote unquote app stores coming to this space or to the market in the next 3 to 10 years. So those are things I would start paying attention to. Again, as an entrepreneur, man, you have to be able to identify trends. You have to kind of see where, look at, I was just with our friend Nader, who was here earlier, and he's an AI developer, and we were talking, and he's very good at identifying trends. And he was even saying, man, back in 2014 or 2013, he was saying this earlier today. He said, I was telling my startup partners that you're going to see Uber is going to be integrated into Google Maps, right? So our idea of how apps work, we go to the App Store and download an app. I think that's going to change. And I think apps are going to be integrated into ecosystems such as Uber's integrated into Google Maps. So now you don't even need to open up your Uber app to get an Uber. You can do it through Google Maps. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so that's the correlation I see. I see these type of trends taking place in the near future, where the app space, the way we view it, it's not going to be that in the next 3 to 5 years. It's going to be a virtual app that's integrated within an ecosystem. That's why I think voice and I think augmented reality is the future, in my opinion. So I would
like to, yeah, definitely. I would like also to add, I was thinking, we use here in Asia, in China, they use WeChat. In Indonesia, which is like a 200 million, I think it's 200 million population. They use a huge an app as well, GoCheck or something like that. Which
GoCheck?
So everything is integrated. It's an Uber app.
Yeah.
It's delivery. It's a wallet. So everything is in the app. It's a super app.
Yeah.
You have anything. You can order. A taxi, and you can like top up your wallet and pay for other stuff.
Yeah.
I think they have it as well with WeChat. It's a super app.
Right.
But coming to a mobile payment. Okay, I heard that last time I was in a mastermind. It was 2 years ago with Carter in Amsterdam. And, we had a guy. I think it's Oli. He was creating a mobile payment startup in India. And he was telling us about this is going to be it's a great opportunity. And now I've seen a lot of countries there are new regulation and like a new setup for mobile payments.
Right.
When I say mobile payments, maybe you have a wallet on your phone and you're transferring money. But actually, it's kind of what I think about. It's like kind of crypto. But why they're not using crypto, I don't know.
Well, they probably will. I mean, if not them, somebody will. But yeah, I mean, bottom line is these are the trends. So you'll start, here's the thing, even including my iPhone has a ton of apps, but I think apps are starting to consolidate. That's what I'm saying. It's like apps are going to be consolidating within other apps or within other ecosystems. So again, the example was Uber within the Google Maps app, right? So that's what I see happening is like, you're going to see, this is going to be the new app store. Is these apps are going to be built and integrated within an ecosystem. And these are the trends that I would be looking for if I was a aspiring entrepreneur, and I'm looking, hey man, I want to get into something. Yes, I want to solve a problem, but I also want to position my value proposition in a space where the eyeballs are at or where the attention is, right? So I think the attention is going towards voice, augmented reality, and virtual reality as well, which is, you know, augmented reality is part of that. If I'm technically being
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So I
Here's
think,
my question. Here's my question, Hameed. Like, let's say,
yeah.
definitely, I can definitely agree with you. But from some guys like us,
Okay.
who don't have like, we are not developers, we're not coders, we're not even designers. Uh, and I'm seeing yourself like, let's say, to my friends in Morocco, they say, well, I mean, we don't have any skills. We just learn it from YouTube and then we apply the skills. So where you're telling me about AR, VR and stuff. So how can we do this? I mean, we have just one on one.
Look
I
at
mean,
it
we
this
can
way.
hire. You and I can hire a developer, but the other someone is starting scratch. How are we gonna do this?
Sure. Yeah. So look at it this way. What did we, when the iPhone launched the iOS App Store, were we aware of apps at the time?
No.
No. Did we? Well, we still didn't know how to code or develop, right?
Yeah.
How did we start at businesses?
Yeah.
We fucking figured it out.
Yeah.
That's so here's what I would tell people. Now that we mentioned it, start reading up. There's Google, right? There is YouTube. I mean, you have a search engine at your, I mean, you have information at your fingertips now that we didn't have before. So these are just some trends that I'm bringing up. If somebody's listening to this podcast or just watching this video, I would say, hey man, just get on Google and start searching augmented reality opportunities. Create a voice app for Alexa. I would start joining forums. I would get on Facebook, look for forums on virtual reality, augmented reality, voice apps. I would start networking. So let's just say, okay, so obviously I can't speak for everyone, and I'm a little lucky because I'm here in the Bay Area, so I can just hop on the train or drive across the Bay Bridge, and I'm in San Francisco. I can go to so many meetups. There's meetup.com. But I would look for networking events in the local area that are in this space and start connecting with people. Start connecting with people that are smarter than you, right? Because the old saying goes, if you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? So crypto space, for example, I bought my first Bitcoin in 2013, right? I don't know what the hell I was. I was just, everyone was talking about Bitcoin and I bought in. And I was like, I'm just going to buy one. We'll see what happens. It went up and then it went down and I just held on to it. And then at the end of 2016, I still didn't know Bitcoin, but I just started seeing there was more of a buzz happening now. People were I have multiple friends who don't know each other from different groups of friends talking about Bitcoin. So I said, okay, I don't know anything about Bitcoin. I'm not an economist, nor am I a coder, but I'm gonna figure it out. I started buying books. I bought the Internet of Money, right? I started going to meetup events. I started going on YouTube. I don't recommend sit on YouTube all day and just watch YouTube videos. You're wasting your time, but you can use YouTube videos as a source to get information, right? I started going on YouTube and started watching videos. I wanted to learn, what is blockchain? What is Bitcoin? And then once I started really understanding it, then I started investing, because now you don't need to know everything. You just need to know about what there was. I don't know who said this. Some famous marketer says you just need to know 30 to 40% of something before you decide whether you want to take on that risk or not, right? You're not going to know everything about a business you're going to jump into. You just need to know enough to know whether you're willing to take a risk or not, because everything's a risk, right? So I started learning about blockchain technology and Bitcoin. And then I was like, oh shit, this thing is really, this is going to solve a lot of problems. And the biggest social issue in the world that it's going to solve is money, right? So I started investing because I started learning it. I was like passively investing. I was reading more. I was going to events, talking to people. I was networking. I started my own group so I can engage more people. At the end of the day, what I would tell people, if you have identified a potential opportunity in a space that is growing, you need to start networking. You need to get in on these Facebook forums, these Telegram chat rooms, whatever it takes. You Slack channels. You need to start networking with people. How do you think me and Rocky met? We networked ourselves into a Facebook group. That's how we met. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what I would tell people. You need to network. You need to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you in this space. And the question is, well, how do I get this people to help me? You need to find a way to provide value to them. But the first thing to do is network, is connect with these people. And a lot of us, we may not be fortunate enough to live like in California, in New York, where you have access to these networks. Let's say you live in like, I don't know, let's say you live in Morocco. Let's say you live in Jordan. Let's say you live in Bali, right? I don't know, maybe there's some networking events in Bali. I don't know. Try to connect with some people on Facebook who are in these spaces. Honestly, I went into all these Bitcoin forums and I started meeting people, and then I just networked. A lot of the networking I did was all on Facebook and on Slack, so that's what I would do.
Education I got is through groups on Facebook, and I'm still very active on groups.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. This is the way anyone should do it, whatever it's coming from.
You got Google at your fingertips, where you can start learning about the subject matter. You have Facebook at your fingertips, where there's other people in this world who are interested in that same subject. And I promise you, there are Facebook groups. There's a lot of shitty Facebook groups, don't get me wrong, with a bunch of idiots who are just speculating all day. Forgive me for, being judgmental, but it's the truth. Especially in the crypto space, man. You get a lot of these guys think they know what they're talking about. Everyone's a gambler. They're all speculators, don't really know what the hell they're talking about, yet they're full of opinions, right? So you're going to find a lot of these Facebook groups. There's a bunch of people who don't really provide real value, but you will find some with real value, right? So you got to network. You got to find these groups, connect with people, ask questions, find a way to like engage with people in these spaces and add value to them as well, so you can get value in return. At the end of the day, it's all about who you know. It's about relationships. And if there was any advice I would give people, is try to develop connections in these spaces, or in, like, for example, augmented reality or apps on Alexa or voice apps. I just thought about this earlier based on my conversation, based on with Nader, and also based on just paying attention to the market. I haven't even gone on Facebook to search up all this stuff, right? So I'm just talking based on my experience in other spaces that I wanted to learn about, and I wanted to also capture an opportunity in. The most recent one is in the crypto space. And because honestly, man, the crypto space, I didn't know anything 2.5 years ago. I didn't know much at all. Now I've learned a lot, to where I have a YouTube channel where I interview people and I provide my own input and analysis as much as I can. And I also bring on people who do technical analysis. But the most important thing is I've made some really good friends in the past 2.5 years, to where now I have access to resources and information that the average, or a lot of people in this space won't have access to. You know what I mean? Because I took the time to network and build relationships. So that's, at the end of the day, it's about who you know. It doesn't matter what degree you have. I don't care if you went to Harvard. If you suck at socializing with people, the guy who's the better networker, who never got a degree, is going to smoke you. He's going to get the information and the data that's needed to build a massive business and become a millionaire by the age of 40 or 30 or 50 or whatever. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's who you know. So you got to network. So that's the biggest thing I'd recommend.
Let me ask you as well. I know as well a lot of my friends back there in Morocco. I spoke a lot of Morocco because obviously I'm coming from. This is where I want to provide value. I believe they don't have a lot of opportunities to have someone like you, maybe from San Francisco and stuff. And there's a trend as well of self-help. Personally, I've never been a fan of self-help, mindset stuff, law of abundance, and all that stuff. I've never been a fan of, and I don't believe in it, to be honest.
I,
What's your opinion on this?
you know, it's good. Here's the thing. Okay, so I think it's very important to let me backtrack a little bit. Let me zoom out. So if you're referring to like all the motivational people,
Yeah,
like
yes.
where they're just like, you know, you just got to get up and say yeah, or you know what I mean, like just like are all about excitement. I agree with you. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here, you know. So I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But in terms of actual real self help, to where you have to develop as a person, absolutely, man. If you don't develop, listen, if you don't develop as a person, you're fucked. It's really that simple.
Yeah, that's going in personal development. I mean,
Yeah, personal
yeah,
development is critical
yeah,
to
definitely,
business.
definitely.
Yeah, but if you're talking about like the motivational, I mean, you know, some people they gravitate towards that. They really enjoy it. It's for them. I'm with you though, man. I'm like, listen, I went to one a few months ago. I'm not going to say the guy's event. The guy was great, the guy on stage, but I'm like, I could never do that. Like he gets
Yeah.
up on, hey guys, you know, hey, you know, and he just starts doing their gimmick, and they really believe they internalize that positive, like, you know, that positive vibe they give off, to where it kind of sounds salesy. It's like Tony Robbins ish. Well, I'm not against it. It's all good. You know, I get it. Some people, it works for them and they need it. I don't give a shit about any of that, bro. Like, I don't need any of that shit, bro. I'm good, you know. And maybe I'm sounding arrogant right now by saying that. I'm just being real. Like I don't need it. Maybe I
Yeah,
shouldn't.
I have a lot of friends who are deep into
Maybe
this.
it's a Middle Eastern thing. I don't know. Maybe, you know,
No,
some of us
definitely not. I mean, it's kind of the same. Some people are into it, some people are not.
are
Just
just
want to
not
hear your
into it,
opinion.
bro.
But
Like,
the thing is, I mean, I don't want people to just think that this is the beginning or this is the base or this is the main thing. Is you need to read all the stuff about self-help or I mean, this is not the. I would say this is for me. This is not the main thing. I mean, if you want to build a business, you want to start. You will not start by reading self-help books or motivational stuff or maybe stories of other entrepreneur. You will
yeah,
read stuff about how to grow your business, how to build your business, and how other entrepreneurs are explaining you how they build their business.
yeah,
You see?
for sure. And you got to fail. You got to fail fast. Whatever business you're looking at and you want to attempt, don't take your time. Like, don't be patient. Like, fail as fast as possible. Prove that the business is going to work or going to fail, so you can move on, but you can also learn from it. The one guy I would recommend listening to is Gary Vaynerchuk,
Mhm.
because he's practical. He's not a motivational guy. He cusses a lot, so it works for me. But he's very real. I met the guy too. I really like him a lot, and he teaches you skills. Like, he really, like, he's all about, hey man, leverage social media. It's a land grab. It's real estate right now, and you got to capture it. Like, I agree with everything he says 100%. Hustle hard, work hard. You know, I agree with everything. It's not about, like, he's not trying to be positive. Anything. He's practical, and I actually identify more with that. Everyone else, I don't really, you know, I'm not a Tony Robbins. I like Tony Robbins, is great, but he's just not my, it's not my
Yeah,
flavor.
we're more. Yeah, we're more. We want practical stuff.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what.
That's why I like Gary Vaynerchuk. He's more practical. He's like, look, do this, do that, and you're going to get this result. That's
Yeah.
it. You know, and it's like, yeah, that's basically it. So I identify more with people like that who give like practical, executable action items that you can take and you can run with. Not the guys who are just like, you just got to wake up, you got to shift that energy, and I'm not into that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like, all right, dude, I get it.
Cooking
I'll just drink a cup of coffee and my energy's shifted, and that's it. So
up.
so I can give to my, you know where I get my self help. I'll tell somebody right now. I'd tell people right now, work on your goddamn health. Like, get into the gym and throw some fucking iron around. Lift some weights. Take jujitsu. Do something active. Like, pick up a sport. Like, if you want to become a better person, work on your body. Really that simple.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
I definitely agree with you. I mean, I believe it goes in the personal development. You want to develop yourself,
Yeah.
like spiritually. You want to develop yourself, like You want to develop your body, spirituality.
Right.
You want to be like a complete, I would say. This is, and this what comes up as the part of the gym. Yes, of course, at the gym or do a sports or something you're enjoying.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, that's if you want to work on yourself, get in the gym, get out of your house and go run. Put that fucking donut down and go for a run. Go play basketball. Go bench press. Go squat. Go do something. You know, like go take Muay Thai. Go take jujitsu. Do something. Just do something that's going to force you to create better habits and a better pattern of living. That's why I like to go to the gym, man. I lift weights because I know if I don't do it, I'm going to get lazy in other areas of my life. If I don't work out, if I don't lift weights at least 4 days a week, it's going to affect the way I work.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm going to create bad habits. So
habits, teach you discipline, and teach you a lot of stuff. I mean,
absolutely. So I mean, you know, for all those guys who want self, I heard somebody recently, someone was telling me that their brother said, he was just giving his brother advice, like, hey man, look, you got great content, you can create a business out of this. And his brother's like, oh, I got to find myself first, right? So people say, I got to find myself first. I'm like, you want to know how you fucking find yourself? Go build a business. That's how you find yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go fail. That's how you find yourself. Go fuck things up. You know, when I say fuck things up, I'm not saying go deliberately fuck things up, but I'm just saying go start something, try to build something, because you're going to fail because you don't know enough and you probably don't have the skill set. You don't have the maturity nor the understanding of how to build that business, but that's okay. Go do it anyways. And that's how you learn. Fail your way forward. That's your best self. You are your ultimate guru. Make mistakes and don't live in regret. Just work your ass off. Go after whatever business opportunity, entrepreneur path that you want to take, and just go after it and fail. And don't worry about everyone else's opinions. And I think that's one thing. See, we come from the Middle Eastern culture. I'm more Persian, obviously, but I'm sure in the Arab community, you can identify with this. In our culture, it's very, very much about living up to the family, you know, making sure that you're on par with what your father and mother want you to do. You have be successful, have straight A, whatever it is, man. Look, and I know parents will hate me saying this, is like, fuck everyone's opinion. Just go after whatever it is you want to do. So if you want to be a music artist, go after it, dude. If you want to be the best dancer ever, go after it. If you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to build something and everyone's saying, oh, that's not going to work. If you've done enough of your homework, you don't need to sit there and analyze everything all day. But if you've done a little bit of homework and you're confident and you feel like you want to give this a shot and that's what your gut's telling you, go for it. And there's a high probability you're going to fail. That's fine. Fail, because that's how you learn. The shit you're going to learn through failure, you're never going to learn it in school. The best teacher is experience. So fail your way forward. That's how you become a better human being. Not, oh, I have to find myself and then I'll start taking action. No, take a shit ton of action now. Throw as much shit against the wall. Sorry with all these slangs. This is how we speak in America. So hopefully you guys can pick up on what I'm saying. Though. When we say throw shit against the wall, that means like work. Like just work your ass off. Just do everything possible to attain that goal or whatever level of a success you're trying to attain with whatever vehicle or business you're trying to attain that level of success with. There's a high probability you're going to fail, but every time you fail, you're learning more, you're collecting more data through the experiences of failing, and you're actually giving yourself a higher probability of success as you move down the path of whatever your path is, whether it's being an entrepreneur, whether you're going out to try to, be an athlete or basketball player, soccer player, whatever, a doctor, I don't know, whatever it is, everyone has something that they're aiming for. Whatever it is you're aiming for, whatever goal you're striving for, just don't worry about everyone else's opinions. Don't even worry about your family's opinions. Just work your ass off and fail your way forward. And you're going to have more experience than the guy next to you. Don't worry about your fucking cousins. Your dad or mom says, oh, you look at your cousin. He's like, fuck the cousins. Just work your ass off. That's it. You know what I mean? And don't worry about everyone else's opinions. Because I promise you, I love my cousins, by the way. I don't have any problems with cousins. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you guys have that in your culture where your parents are comparing you to your
Oh,
cousins.
definitely, definitely.
You know, we get that a lot in our culture. In the Persian culture, we get that a lot. I don't give a shit. I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
don't care.
no, it's definitely the same thing. You
Yeah.
always, I mean, you always have to prove yourself. And, yeah, most of them, you always have to prove yourself. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we should end it off there, man. I think it's been about a good hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, it's been a long time. This is a good talk. But yeah, guys, just so you guys know, if you're brand new to this channel, both of our channels, just make sure click the like button so others can find this video on YouTube as well. Make sure you subscribe as well and click the little bell button next to the subscribe button. So anytime we upload new content to these channels, you'll be notified right away. If you have any questions, you know, you have any comments you'd like to join the discussion, leave a comment below. If you have any questions for any of us, leave a comment below and we'd love to hear your thoughts as well. I don't want you guys to feel like you're not a part of the discussion. I know you guys are listening to us and you're trying to learn and just trying to understand our experiences as well. And hopefully you can learn from it, but join the conversation, leave a comment below and we'd love to engage with you even further. And we plan on doing this more often. I'm going to be in Thailand with my business partner, Nader, next week. So we'll be doing this live. Myself and Rocky on the beach somewhere in Phuket, probably drinking something and talking about business and life and the next steps towards attaining success, whatever
okay.
success is for you. So any final words, Rocky?
Well, I'm gonna say to the people, yeah, and, who's watching this, like from Morocco, like who have the same background as me.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I know that you expect me to do more videos, so hopefully I'm gonna try to make more videos, bring more interesting people like Hameed, and producing more content for you. So if you have any questions, definitely just leave your comments. You also have my messenger bot, so you can leave your questions. I see them every day. I'm trying to answer do my best to answer. Obviously, if I don't know something, I will just tell you straight away. I don't know it. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, just
you know what I would tell everyone. Any questions you have, like if you leave it below, we'll answer it in the next session we do together. You know what I mean? So again, leave a comment below and we'll answer your questions, not just in the comment section, but we'll answer it in the next show. Other than that, guys, Rocky, it was a good time. Look forward to doing a lot more of these and talk to you guys soon. Let me stop.
Have a good day. Take care. Bye.
Hold on one second.